Hey, what's up, guys? I've got another nice simple tutorial for another Flutter game for you guys, and that's this one right here. This one is, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the days on the old Nokia phones, this was the only game that you could play on it. You can go through walls, so technically this one is Snake 2, I guess. But yeah, basically, if you don't know this game, we'll just swipe around and your snake has to go eat this apple, and then the snake grows. If you smash back into your own body, then that's when the game is over. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this game using Flutter, Flutter code. Okay, so let's just jump over here. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and instead of typing out every single line of code, I've already pre-written it out, and I'm just going to sort of uncomment bits and pieces and sort of talk about the overall structure and logic on how I made this game. And of course, if you want to check out the code, I've got the link to the to my website in the description. So please download it from my website. But yeah, so basically, I've got a scaffold with a black background, and most of what you see on the screen is actually just a grid view. Okay, and I use this grid view builder. This is the same one I used to make tic-tac-toe in my other video, where I went a bit more in depth into how to use this. But basically, in these squares, I have 20 in each row. Okay, and there's I think like 700 in total. But yeah, of course you can control these numbers to make the snakes smaller or larger. But if you guys don't remember, I'm just going to quickly recap how this grid view builder makes these squares. Okay, because the ordering of the numbers is actually quite important. So when the grid view builder starts building it, this top left corner is 0, and then it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through to 19, and then it'll come back to 20 and then continue that cycle. Okay, so this is important because we're going to use the notion of coordinates to know where the position of the snake is, as well as the apple. Okay, so if I just come over here, once I press this start button, I want to start the game. Okay, so I've got this start game method, and this snake position is going to be our small little coordinate system to find where the snake's position is. Okay, so currently I've got it set at 45, 65, 85, 105, and 125. You can see that it's going up by 20s, right? And basically that's what I explained before, how there's 20 in each row. So if I add 20 to a certain particular square, then it's going to be the next one down. And if you add 20 again, it's going to be the next one down. Same thing if you subtract 20, right? You're going to go up. Okay, so this first coordinate, 45, is going to be this tail. So 45, 65, 85, 105, and 125. Okay, so basically for this snake to seem like it's going to move, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, at every frame, I'm going to remove the tail and just pop it onto the head. Okay, and I'm going to do that every 300 milliseconds. Okay, so this is the bit of code. I'm going to use the timer. I think you have to import this this one over here, the asynchronous one, to use this. But yeah, this also controls the speed. So if you have, since every 300 milliseconds the frame's going to refresh, the smaller the number, the quicker it's going to refresh, right? So you can just use this to control the speed of the snake. And so yeah, every time we refresh, we're going to update snake. Okay, so this is the base. This is basically the main function of this game, the main method, I guess. So if I just uncomment this, for update snake, which is going to happen every 300 milliseconds, I'm going to start by just setting the direction to be down. Okay, so when I hit start, we'll just let this go down first. Okay, and when I'm updating my my snake, first of all, check the direction. So is the direction down, up, left, or right. And in each of these positions, so for example, if it's down, we're going to look at the list on the snake and we're going to add to it whatever the last position was, and we're going to add 20. Okay, so in this case, this is the last position. And basically by last, you might be confused, like what's front and back? Didn't we say that's the head and that's the tail? This last would be the last number in our list. So it would be the highest number in this case. Okay, and that 125 is the head. Okay, so whatever that number was, we're going to add 20. Okay, and simultaneously, we're going to execute this bit of line of code. Okay, so snake position, remove, add 0. So 0 representing the very first element. Okay, and using that idea, we're going to continuously move down. Okay, now I know I've got a lot of other bits of lines of code to adjust for other factors of the game. For example, like it's checking for if we get to the very bottom row and you're still going down, then we're going to, if you're at the bottom row and you're still going down, we're going to continue going down, but then we're going to take a full grid off. Okay, and then once you get to the end, it's just going to come back up to the top and then just continue cycling through. Okay, so that's just what this extra bit of code is doing. Okay, same thing for left and right. If you're at the right and you're at the end, then we're just going to start at the beginning. Okay. The last couple things that I should go over is, first of all, let's actually see this in motion. So if I click start, yeah, there we go. We're just going to go down. So that's just what I was explaining before. I don't think we can move right now. No, we can't move right now. But yeah, when we get to the end, we're going to jump back to the top. Okay, so that's this method, update snake. That's what this one's doing. Okay, so now we want to control this snake, right? So to control this snake, it's going to need to, we're going to need to use a gesture detector. Okay, and I'll explain what's going on here. So first of all, we have a vertical and horizontal drag update, and it's basically just checking, are you swiping left or right? Okay, so so you can see like this dy and dy, it's just greater than 0, less than 0. Okay, so same thing here, left and right, but for the dx. Okay, so this bit of code will control, let's save this. There's other ways to take the input for this game. Like when I first made this game, I used tapping different parts of the screen to control left and right. But I think this swipe gesture is the most natural. But yeah, you can just swipe wherever to get the snake. And also once we get to this food and we eat it, we want the snake to grow. Yeah, we actually want a couple things to happen. We want the snake to grow, and we want the apple to appear in a different spot, right? So to make the apple appear in a different spot, you'll find this bit of code here where I've got random. It just generates a random integer, and basically for the food, I just generate a random number for it between 0 and 700. Okay, so that should be just anywhere on the screen. And also once it eats it, to make the snake feel like it's growing, I actually just don't remove that last tail. So you know how I'm removing the last tail and popping off onto the head to make it seem like it's moving? When I eat the snake, hopefully you can notice in this, whoops, but like I kind of make it stop for a second and I don't remove one of the tails, and it will just continue growing. Okay, maybe I can show you the last thing, which is we want the game to somehow end, right? We're going to need to lose. Right now, I think if you just go through, yeah, you can just go through your own body, which is obviously not what we want. So when the snake touches itself, it's going to we're going to need to show like a dialogue to say the game's over. Okay, and we're going to show like a score for it as well. Okay, so I've coded that in here. So every time we're going to check at every frame. Okay, and basically the way I coded this game over function is I just check for the snake. If you think about it, if the snake would ever crash into its own body, that means we must have a duplicating coordinate, right? Since these numbers show us where the snakes are. If I had, for any instance, like if we had a 45 here and a 45 at the end, and we have two of these numbers, that means the snake must have crashed into each other, right? Because it's at the same spot at the same time. Okay, so that's the logic I did to determine if the game is over. Okay, so I just did a for loop twice for the list, and basically if you find yourself, if you appear twice, then I'm going to report the game is over. Okay, and once the game is over, I'm just going to show a nice simple dialogue. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate that. Hopefully when I lose, we get a dialogue. I'm going to try and lose, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I crashed into myself, and we're just going to say game over, your score was 6. And if I play again, you can just start over. Okay, so that's basically it. So, like I said, I think, how many lines did this take? Like around 200 lines of code. So that's actually pretty, for me at least, I think that's pretty cool. Like with 200 lines of code, you can just code up a game like this. Like I said, you can find the link to my website in the description where you can download this code. And next I might make Space Invaders maybe. But yeah, if you have any recommendations for any 2D games that you want to see built, then you can let me know. And also you can follow my Instagram, which I'll have in the description as well, where I just post my daily updates on all the apps that I make. Cool, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.